Morning, everyone. How are we feeling today? Yeah, good. A few people went out late last night. Recognized a few faces. Didn't go late last night, unusually, but I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling excited. I'm pumped to be here today at AWE. Kick-off day 2. And today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things that talk to XR, AR. I mean, you've seen all the exhibitors yesterday. There's so much good stuff to see here at AWE 2023. My name is Thomas Dexmier. I'm the AVP EMEA for HTC VIVE, looking after business development and enterprise solutions. Today we're going to be talking about how enterprise is driving innovation in XR, mass adoption, and we'll talk about the outlook for immersive technologies in the commercial space. There's been quite a few moments in history where the world has changed because of technology. Look at, industrial revolution. Look at the rise of computers and smartphones. And now the XR world is absolutely booming. By XR, we mean AR, VR, mixed reality, you name it. But we're still in the early days of spatial computing, as we all know here, and that's probably a reason why we're all here today as an ecosystem to kind of think about next generation solutions for consumers as well as commercial. But as you've heard us all talk about it yesterday, and you'll hear us more today and in the near future, the adoption is driven by enterprise. Take the example today of that really hot topic, which is hybrid working, or going back to the office full time, or working from home. I'm not sure if you've got any specific preference, or if you think a bit of both worlds is the way to go. But that debate is pretty hot, and actually Fortune published a survey today in the not today, this week, sorry. Fortune in the UK published a survey on 15,000 white-collar employers and employees. And they actually found out that having the flexibility of hybrid work is a key criteria for nearly half of the respondents. So people want to get the choice. They want to be able to decide, what's the best way for them to enhance their productivity. But at the end of the day, it will come down to two things. Employer satisfaction. You want to make sure that everybody is happy. You get options and you get the options to choose from. But business growth and business results and outcomes are going to be absolutely critical in dictating what choices and options we get. And we believe that this is where technology can be a true enabler. We know that tech can help us with remote collaboration. Yeah? How would we be productive without these wonderful team calls and Zoom calls that fill up our diaries all day? Happy, yes, because it solves kind of few issues, but it creates others. There's been something missing, using these video calling solutions. We're communicating, yes, but there's something missing. And that something is the feeling of presence. We communicate, but we don't connect. How many times have you been sitting there, standing in front of your desk, staring at your own image on a flat 2D screen, listening to the sound of your own voice, not being able to know and gauge the reaction from your audience? We believe that technology has to keep helping to break down all these barriers and enhance productivity. So can remote work be better? Yeah, of course. And I'm not sure if you've seen it, but this has been validated by PwC last week with this brilliant report. There's a link at the bottom of the slide, and for you guys to get access to it. Top line results when they compare virtual reality and remote collaboration solutions with traditional video calling is that 16% of people see an improvement in the quality of their communication. More importantly, 58% of these people believe that they feel closer to their peers when they communicate. And 11% of these guys actually see a greater level of satisfaction in the outcomes of their workshops. So it's great to see that PwC is validating all that, but it is just one of the examples why XR and XR innovation and uptake is largely being driven by enterprise. There's already thousands of real-world solutions that we've seen using virtual reality and extended reality with deployments across multiple verticals. Pretty much every single industry wants to get into VR and XR and make it part of their digital transformation in order to improve learning outcomes, improve their workflows, improve communications, eventually benefiting employees and employers with meaningful and measurable ways and outcomes. And at HTC VIVE, we're very fortunate to work with pretty much every single industry, whether we're talking healthcare, automotive, construction, design, education, military, defense, emergency services, just to name a few. In just a few short years, we've seen VR headsets coming from being these big, bulky, cumbersome kind of setups that required, to be tethered to a PC with external base stations, requires a level of technical literacy to set them up that was kind of second to none, to small, tiny, lightweight, very powerful standalone headsets that are capable of super accurate inside-out tracking. And this year has been mainstream launch of mixed reality, with high-quality, full RGB pass-through cameras, taking us from virtual reality, where you're completely blocked out from your physical surroundings, to mixed reality, which enables a whole new level of immersion, as you know. And as an example, the VIVE XR Elite that we launched earlier this year does deliver quite an amazing XR experience because of the fact that it's super compact, very lightweight, designed in a way to be as inclusive as possible. People with glasses can now pop the headset on without having to worry about their glasses, tune their specs depending on their prescription on their left and right eye. We've removed the big bulky strap that goes, cuts across the head if you wear a turban or if you've got a hairstyle. So we think about all these things, but at the end of the day, we want these devices to be much more versatile than ever before because they do unlock more ways for enterprise to use them. And whether it's for collaboration or working solo, whether you're doing it from a very sophisticated, sophisticated training lab or a tiny little setup in your home office, there's something in it for absolutely everyone. And the most obvious case for XR is any industry that requires visualization. As you know, with extended realities, 3D models can now be blended with your real-world surroundings, allowing to do your diagnostic overlays or a real one-to-one scale of a product or a design, or allow you to map out layout of a pipe or factories. Everything designed to be more lifelike and accurate from planning, designing, and training. It's actually even better when you can have multiple people working together on the one single 3D object, for example. So we're pushing the boundaries, and use cases like that and their adoption in enterprise do push us to deliver solutions and platforms that do accommodate for that type of use case. So from solo experiences, we see a massive trend now and a massive shift towards multi-user training and simulation scenario. A great example that we've got here is Vertalis and the Ford Motor Company. They've worked together to marry up virtual reality on one side and digital twin solutions on the other side to do the design of their next generation factory. Talking about layout, looking at having engineers collaborating together, designing this thing before it actually the architects sign off on the plans. Allows for fewer design errors, being able to validate human factors like having products in the line of sight, being able to maneuver your forklift in a real life scenario that you virtualize first, and then eventually at the end of the day what it means is a significant reduction in late changes in the design. Obviously means that their they've got solutions to stick to their deployment timelines. And actually, we've seen that there's been a 30% reduction in engineers on-site visits as well, which is, at times where the pandemic was a pretty hot topic, a very, very nice KPI for the industry to have a look at. Healthcare is a massive topic as well for all things XR. And quite arguably, we see a lot of really good use cases across the medical sector. Use cases do span from practicing high complex surgical procedures on super accurate 3D models before going to live surgery, for example, and being able to walk your patients through the various courses of action, all the way through to training practitioners in a risk-free environment, and obviously aiming at improving pain management and rehabilitation of your patients. All of this is not just using the tech for the sake of saying we're using the tech. People use this technology to contribute to the overall goal, which is improved patient outcomes and obviously reducing costs. So a great example that we love at HTC VIVE is what we've done with NYU Langone in the US. And if you see that script, it's actually quite fascinating what these guys have been doing. They've used immersive technology to achieve the highest survival rates in the country for neurology and neurosurgery procedures in 2022. It's quite, an outstanding statement. And for them to be able to work on a hyper-realistic 3D scan of the brain of the patient before they go to live surgery means quite a lot. One of the things it means is that they can actually rehearse the actual surgery before going live, obviously make it risk-free, allow them to be much more time efficient when they're on the job, allows them to seek advice as well from other professionals that might be, these guys are over in the US, that might be a professor in the UK that want to have, contribution to the surgery and being able to give advice. So this is how these technologies are being used, specifically with the NYU Langone in the US. Absolutely fascinating thing to see, and certainly something where we see a really live use case where technology helps humanity. Other insights, obviously, for healthcare, it's not just about training the most sophisticated surgeon and medical professionals, but it's all about training not just on these highly technical procedures, but training your nurses, training your medical staff. And we recently conducted a survey, about 400 professionals, about the state of XR training in their field. And it was quite fascinating to see that 91% of the respondents actually do agree that the educational plans are dramatically enhanced and the training and the facilitators of the sessions are dramatically empowered by the use of XR. 75% believe that using XR means saving a lot of time. And 86% of these people that work for organizations that have not adopted XR at scale yet really hope that they will do so by 2026. So the outlook is really bright for healthcare. But healthcare is not the only sector when we see meaningful impact of XR and the use of the technology. And emergency services is another great example where we've been working very closely with them across fire services, first responders, ambulances, etc., just to name a few, to understand their needs and really help them with delivering platforms and solutions that would actually fit their business needs. I want to be clear, when you see this, XR is not designed to replace your traditional and conventional training. It's here to enhance, it's here to complement. We see that by doing this, firefighters can be trained more often than any time before. I'm not sure if anyone has experience with fire training here in the room, but getting to a site where you're going to burn down a house or a building or a car is pretty costly. It's not very good for the planet. And if we can do a whole bunch of things to eliminate that crucial needs that will still remain, but not as much, if we get and give these guys a chance to practice over and over and over again using XR solutions, where they will be able to simulate the physics of the fire, the color, and the physics of the smoke, how they're going to be using water or foam, depending on what's burning, if it's oil burning in the kitchen, or if it's something bigger happening in the workplace, for example. So whether you're the fire warden in the office or a professional firefighter, there's solutions for absolutely everyone. And again here, just a little snapshot of the work that we've been doing with our partners, Flame Systems, based out of Australia, but now selling their solutions across the globe. Collaboration, having the ability to use cost-effective solutions is something that in this industry has always been looking for. XR is the answer to all their problems, specifically around having the ability to use real-life equipment. So they can use their fire extinguisher, they can use the actual hose, they've got force feedback, they've got integration with haptics, they've got heat suits that actually mean that as the trainee, if you walk closer to the virtual flames, you start feeling the heat on your body. So, natural reactions and kinesthetic learnings and learning by doing is a big thing for them, because we know the more prepared you are to address the scenario, the better and the quicker you will be at getting the job done well, in a risk-free environment. But obviously, and this is a great example here, again, it's all about being able to measure the outcome. XR in the workplace is not just another gamified experience that will keep the end user happy. It's all about making sure that all stakeholders within the organization see the meaningful impact of using XR in terms of integration with learning management systems that will confirm that Joe has completed the training, but not only has he done the training, he's been using a whole bunch of sensors and a whole bunch of, say, eye tracking solutions, for example. It's a great use case here, where people can actually keep record of how the fire has been addressed. Has the person, when they walked into the room, how long did it take them to spot the danger in the room, to spot where this fire was starting? What's the decision process in terms of picking the right extinguisher? And all these things can be measured, can be analyzed, can be recorded, and can be replayed with the trainee, not only to keep on getting them better and better and improved at doing the job, but obviously from a training and curriculum perspective as well, making sure that they design curriculums and modules that are in line with their trainees' expectations. And this is just a little subset of what is happening behind the scene with Flame Systems. And if you've seen them before, if you've seen them at trade shows, if you know what they're doing, they're all professional firefighters by trade. They moved on to kinesthetic learning, moved on to haptics, moved on to XR, and they're absolutely obsessed about giving the world solutions that are real-life products using their real-life equipment, as you can see here. The only thing that changes is that the fire that they will see is not real, it's all virtual. And they can simulate dozens of different environments. The flexibility, and as you can imagine, the return on investment on solutions like that is second to none. And just a quick stat for you to remember that technology is, again, not just about trying to push technology and getting your end user to do whatever they can to adopt it. We need to deliver solutions that are meaningful for the business, for our clients, for our partners. And flame training is completely virtual, right? So can you imagine that? And if you walk away with one thing out of this session, 2,000 hours worth of training in flame system is the equivalent of 20 million liters of water saved and 27 tons of carbon emissions. Not bad. We talk healthcare, we talk emergency services, but it's not just that. We talk arts, we talk culture, and a great example is what we've done recently with VIVE Art, our arts division, with the Musée d'Orsay, where there's a brand new Van Gogh exhibition, which I strongly recommend you go and check out if you're in Paris within the next few months. There is an immersive exhibition that goes with it, and basically a 3D scan of the last palette that the master has used during his last month before he committed suicide, has been designed, and you float and you travel through the palette. It's completely magical through the paint brush and strokes and everything, and you learn about Van Gogh's techniques around using colors, using his brush, and using distortion on some of the paintings. Now, just a few real-life cases and example of adoption of XR. What do we see next? We will continue to be more and more connected. At HTC VIVE, we are HTC first and foremost, so we've got a very strong DNA in mobility. We love networks, we love mobility, mobile networks, 3G, 4G, now 5G. Private 5G is a big thing, and we have a solution at VIVE that we develop and start selling to the corporate world. There is a need for unified networks that offer security and be 5G as opposed to Wi-Fi can allow them to allocate the right level of bandwidth and latency depending on the actual use case. So whether you're using a small IoT device, which is like a machine-to-machine equipment that has your conveyor belt talking to the network, or if you're using a full-on XR solution, you will have different needs in terms of bandwidth and latency, and this is where private 5G can solve quite a few challenges. With that, we will then have content sitting on the cloud. We talk cloud compute, remote rendering, you name it. There's different ways of saying it. But what it means is that we will be able to render very high-quality PCVR content on standalone headsets. And when you think about it, what it means from a headset standpoint, they will look much more like wearables, right? So they're going to go smaller and more compact because all of a sudden we realize the CPU doesn't need to be there and the GPU doesn't need to be as beefy and the battery doesn't need to be as big because it's all happening on the cloud. So the impact, and this is like a virtual cycle of having cloud compute 5G on the hardware design of our products, is something that we are super excited about. We will continue to develop solutions specifically for enterprise because we believe that's where the demand will continue to grow. The adoption will be driven by this part of the business. So, we need solutions that are safe, that are secure, that are compliant, and we offer the level of support that is adequate for enterprise use. So again, not going to name everything here, but ISO certification is something that we have across our platforms and solutions. And it's compliance with security and privacy, which is very important in the commercial world. We've got advanced tracking solutions for people that want to start using, and this is a great example actually, again, where a need or business need that came from the LBE market, so arcades and people getting together, put on the headset, grab your guns, and off you go shooting zombies. We now have these requests and requirements from the corporate world to do and apply these multi-user scenarios on large tracking areas using standalone headsets across different businesses. So again, from that solo experience to multi-user type training. And obviously, we want these devices need to be able to connect to an IT network to be managed, which we can do through VIVE Business Plus, our very own device management solution. But we obviously integrate and are supported by some of the main MDM and UEM providers out there with VMware, Intune, and Arbor XR, to name a few. Running short in time as expected, but what else do we see platform-wise? As we all know, and we're always happy to hear that the metaverse is not dead, specifically not for enterprise. So, virtual environments like our very own Viveverse for business, or other solutions like Arthur or Engage will continue to become more and more popular because people want to be able to do what we're doing now in a virtual environment. So be able to address a wide and large audience, being able to present slideshows and videos and bring 3D objects to the room. Only a virtual reality collaboration solution like Viveverse for business would allow me to bring a massive 3D version of the next headset that we're working on and pass it on to you guys. I'm not going to be doing it today because it's all real. We see the rise of the industrial metaverse as well. So back to what I was telling before about 5G and everything connected. We want to be able to measure factory line, efficacy, processes, workflows, and all these things will be tracked live in real time with the quality of service that private 5G networks will deliver. And we work on technologies as well. It's not just about hardware and platforms. It's what new technologies are we going to be working on. This one is a great one that we love. It's called polygon streaming, and it basically allows you to have, regardless of the quality of the headset and the connection that you've got, a fantastic visual experience because we will adjust polygons that you see depending on what headset you're consuming the content from. So you can count on us at HTC VIVE to continue to drive and support the business and the enterprise world, to give them all the solutions they need to continue to drive adoption, help us innovation. We will continue to listen to our partners' feedback. This big community is great, and we absolutely love working with you all, guys, because all these brilliant ideas that you get, feel free to share with us all here in the room. And the more we brainstorm, the more we understand what's coming next or what's required next, we will be able to integrate in our products moving forward. Everything and everywhere you look around you here at AWE, there's constant innovation. So look, I wish you all a cracking day. Have a lot of fun. Day 2, hopefully you find this session insightful. We'll be around. We don't have a booth, but you can find us with the VIVE t-shirt. If you fancy a chat, we'll be here all day. So have a cracking morning, coffee up, and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you very much.